y'all, welcome to Petite Weaver Crafts episode 10. I'm recording here today from Los Angeles on August 1st, 2016. For new viewers, thank you so much for stopping by and giving me a chance. I know there are a lot of YouTube videos that you could be watching, and thank you so much for taking the time out of your lives to watch my little podcast about knitting, spinning, weaving, and all my crafty pursuits. And for returning viewers, thank you so much for coming back week after week. I can't quite fathom that I've already reached episode 10. It feels like I just started this podcast. So I wanted to thank you guys for all the support you've given me so far. So for this week, I have a ton of stash enhancements, some works in progress. I will be talking about my lovely trip to visit some alpacas nearby, and a reminder about my giveaway to celebrate over 100 subscribers on this channel. So let's get started. So first up is stash. So as I mentioned previously, I participated in this quarter's FiberShare package swap. It's part of the FiberShare community. They sporadically host giveaways on their Instagram, and my lovely friend Jessie tagged me in one of the giveaways. So as part of that giveaway, she won some skeins of a lovely single source West Australian yarn company called Wool Days, and I got to choose one of the skeins for myself, and here is the skein that I picked. It's a lovely navy colored yarn. It is 50 grams of a DK weight, and it's 100% merino. Little Miss Lady wanted to join me today, so she might hang out on my lap for a little while until she gets bored or goes to sleep. But I picked this color of yarn because I thought it might go really well with a skein of hand spun that I finished a little while back. This is a skein of hand spun from a knitted wit braid, and I don't think I've ever recorded the colorway for this, but yeah, it's a lovely I think it was BFL mix if I remember correctly, but yeah, I thought these two would go together really well. Yeah, sometimes I have a little bit of trouble trying to figure out what the heck to do with some single skeins of hand spun. Yeah, so I tend to try to pair it with a solid of some sort to kind of extend the yardage of the skein. Yeah, so if you guys hear some huffing and puffing, Lady's just now laying down in my lap as I'm sitting at my crafting desk like she usually does when I'm sitting here, because she is the neediest dog ever and she loves to be right next to me all the time, which I'm not gonna lie, I adore. Next for my stash enhancements is a needle book that I pre-ordered a little while back. I heard of this Etsy store from Danny from the Prairie Girls Knit and Spin podcast. Danny reposted a picture of a different needle book that this Etsy store made, and so I wanted to check them out, and so recently I saw that she was doing some pre-orders. So here is my needle book from 19 Stitches. Yeah, it's a good size needle book. It's probably about 7 inches by 9 inches total. It's very well made. So I wanted something to kind of keep all of my interchangeable sets together. I have 3 sets of Hayas. I have the 5-inch sharps set in the small sizes. So that goes from a 2 to a 8, I believe. Then I have the 4-inch regular tips, so that also goes from 2 to 8. I have the short 4-inch regular tips in the small sizes as well, and I have the bamboo set in a small, and they all kind of go into this needle keeper so well. And the reason I have 3 sets of the same brand is because I can mix and match all the tips and all the cables, and as you've seen, I have a lot of whips ongoing all the time, so I was constantly running out of cables, and I purchased most of these sets as a D-stash off of Woolery, so I figured why not. So they were a great deal and I couldn't pass them up, and buying the sets with the cables was actually cheaper than buying all the additional cables I needed individually. Alrighty, so let's look at the inside of this lovely needle keeper. So I open it up, and the first page is a spot for all my interchangeable tips So on this side, I'm keeping all of my 5-inch sharp sets. I did purchase a few extra tips, I believe, for this for some of the smaller sizes that I use more often. And then there's a spot for all your fixed circulars. Then you have a spot to hang any progress keepers, a little pouch to store your stitch markers, a little magnetic spot on the fabric to hold any darning needles that you might have. There's a little pocket here as well. And I just have my little rubber grips that I use for my hayahayas to tighten the needles to the cables, as well as a lovely little spot for your yarn snips as well. I love how well thought out this needle book is. Next you have a zippered pouch where I keep all of my cables. And for the last page you have more slots for DPNs or interchangeable sets. And here I am keeping my 4-inch steel tips and my bamboo tips. Yeah, that's my entire needle book. How cool is this? It is a little bit chunky with everything that I have in here, but it's all organized and I don't have to like constantly look around for where the heck I put like certain cables and where I put certain needle tips and such like. So yeah, highly recommend. Please check her out. Her Etsy shop is called 19 Stitches. Oh, and I totally didn't remember to talk about the lovely stitch markers I got. So yeah, when I placed the order, I also purchased a few extra stitch markers. So I purchased this little bunny one, as well as this super cute spinning wheel progress marker. And she was so sweet and sent me a couple of extra ones as well. So I got this little leaf, a tiny mini skein, and a tulip flower, and a super cute little bird. So yeah, when I placed the order, I also purchased a few extra stitch markers. So I purchased this little bunny one, as well as this super cute spinning wheel progress marker. And she was so sweet and sent me a couple of extra ones as well. So I got this little leaf, a tiny mini skein, and a tulip flower, and a super cute little bird. But yeah, you guys should definitely check out 19 Stitches. She has lots of stitch markers, needle keepers, some project bags, as well as these lovely needle books, and I would highly recommend them. So I am part of the Los Angeles Fiber Shed. As part of the organization, we went on a lovely field trip to visit a local alpaca farmer called Ranch of the Oaks up in Lompoc, California, and it's about 3 hours away. So we went and visited Tom and Meta. And they're lovely alpacas, llamas, and they also had a few sheep as well. They are a small-scale fiber mill here in Southern California. They do process both alpacas as well as wool fleeces. So I will make sure to link their website in my show notes so you guys can check them out if you're interested in those services. They were super generous and patient and allowed a bunch of city ladies to come out and tour their facilities, to check out their fiber mill. But yeah, they were super sweet and allowed a bunch of city women to come out and ogle their lovely alpacas and pet them and feed them carrots. So I'll insert some videos here of me freaking out over seeing super cute alpacas, because oh my goodness, they are so cute.
Theoretically, no, but if you stick your finger in there out like a carrot, they might.
I don't have any more.
I
don't have any more.
You do what, or you do this?
Yeah, you curl your fingers. It's such a good time. I love animals of all shapes and sizes. I grew up in Texas, and I definitely miss being around so many animals. I helped raise goats for a little while, and I definitely miss being around farm animals. So it was really nice to see them. Alpacas are not as friendly as I probably would prefer, just because they're not like dogs. They don't want to be hugged. But I did get to lure them over with some carrots and give them some scratches. But yeah, I had a wonderful time, and as part of our visit, we also got to see their little ranch store, and I purchased the loveliest yarn from them. So I purchased 6 skeins of this lovely kind of dusty rose colored yarn. It is, I think it might be kind of hard to see, but this is a blend of 60% alpaca in kind of like a medium brown color, mixed with 20% merino, 20% bamboo, and a little bit of fire star in a hot pink color. And yeah, it blended out. It turned into this lovely color. It's about a sport weight yarn, and I have 1,200 yards of this total. Yeah, I think I want to make a featherweight out of this. A featherweight's normally made with lace yarn, but I think this is just so gorgeous. I want to be able to have like a very nice everyday cardigan out of it. So that's kind of the plan. I don't know when I'll get to cast that on because I definitely need to finish some of my other projects before I do. But it's so incredibly soft. I absolutely, and as always, I love to support local as much as I possibly can. Yeah, after we visited Ranch of the Oaks, we traveled over to a spinning and weaving store in Solvang, California. Unfortunately, the owners of the store were planning on retiring soon, so they had these huge sales, which was I had such a hard time reining myself in and not buying everything in the store. So here are the few things that I picked up for myself. I purchased 16 ounces of a mixed BFL, and it's super soft, and I like the two-toned quality of this. I haven't decided what I wanted to do with this fiber yet, but either way, I think it would be a lovely marled yarn as is. And if I don't want it to be just this natural color, I can over dye it and it will be a super gorgeous semi-tonal yarn. So yeah, 16 ounces. It's about a pound. It's a pound of fiber. So yeah, got this is such a good deal. And then some other random things that I picked up as well is some cotton warp yarn for tapestry weaving. As I mentioned previously, I wanted to kind of pick that back up, so I purchased some warp yarn. I also picked up another pair of Addy needles. These are a 32-inch 00, and these are actually the lace set, but I like the sharp points on these, so I'll be using these for my socks as well. And I got these for half off. 50% off. How can I pass them up, right? So I also picked up some Country Classic dye. This one's in the cherry colorway, which is kind of a it's kind of a pinkish red, which obviously I like. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet, but it was on sale. It was on sale. And my favorite purchase from the day is a 4-ounce bag of cochineal. And if you remember, I did a lot of cochineal dyeing at the Griffin Dye Works retreat. So I picked up some for me to play with at home. And here is a skein of some cochineal yarn that I dyed previously. How gorgeous is this? So yeah, I'm super excited to play with my new dye stuffs. I went a little bit crazy with my stash enhancements for this week, but I'm a sucker for deals and sales. So yeah, let's move on to my works in progress. So first up for my works in progress is my Meridian cardigan by Joji Locatelli. I made a lot of progress on this cardigan actually. I had a lot of travel knitting time this week due to my 6-hour flights to and from Boston, as well as my 3-hour road trips to and from Ranch of the Oaks. So here it is. It almost doesn't fit on the screen, oh my goodness. But yeah, if you can see this lovely progress keeper, which is also from 19 Stitches, it's a mug of coffee. And I am one of those people who has to have my coffee every morning or I get a caffeine headache. So I figured that would be the perfect stitch marker for my travel knitting. Look at all that progress I made. As I mentioned previously, this sweater is knit across the body, and then you pick up from this top side here, you knit the back and then the shoulders and sleeves. And this is knit with Forbidden Woolery's Pride lace, and it is a wool stellina based, and in the colorway Archangel wings, which is it's a tonal sand color with little pops of pink and a little bit of yellow and orange in there as well. Yeah, I'm making good progress. I'm about halfway through the bottom part of the sweater before I can pick up for the back and shoulders. And of course, I am not a monogamous knitter by any stretch of the imagination. And I agreed to sample knit for Tria of Material Culture Fiber Arts. I've mentioned her many times on this podcast, but she sent me a lovely skein of one of her new colorways, which should be released in September. And this colorway is called Applejack. How cute is it? I am knitting a Hinagiku hat. It is a free pattern on Woolery, and I'll make sure to link it. Yeah, so this hat's super neat. It has a large band of twisted rib stitch at the bottom here, and then it goes into a lovely textured detail, and this textured stitch is the star stitch. And if that sounds familiar, it's because it's the same stitch pattern that I use in my talisman shawl. Yeah, so it does hurt my hand a tiny bit to do this many star stitches in a row. So I kind of have to pick it up and put it down fairly often, but I'm making very good progress. I think I casted this on Thursday. Yeah, I think I casted this project on Thursday, so yeah, lots of progress. Oh, and I also have this super cute stitch marker. It's a kitty cat with a yarn ball, and this is also one of the stitch markers that I purchased from 19 Stitches. Last up is the giveaway I mentioned last week. I reached 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel recently. To celebrate my 100 subscribers, I wanted to give away some mini skeins from my stash. If you guys are interested in winning these minis, and a lot of them you've seen on my podcast before for my mini skein blankets. If you're interested in the giveaway, please go over to episode 9 and comment about your favorite thing you've seen on my podcast so far. I want to keep everything on episode 9's comment section to help organize this giveaway, and a winner will be announced on next week's episode 11. That's it for me this week, you guys. Thank you so much, you guys, for coming by and listening to me babble on about all the fibery things that I get myself into. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next week. Bye! All right. Can I finish recording? Or are you going to be needy? Okay, I need to work my stuff.